Hello students. Now let us talk about another interesting nucleic acid which is called as ribonucleic acid, also called as RNA. Is that okay? Let us see the RNA. Look at this. What do you think is this structure of? You guessed it, it is RNA. And what does RNA stands for? You know that also. It stands for ribonucleic acid. Now, where do you think is RNA found in our cell? So if I see a typical eukaryotic cell, I see that structure right there called as the nucleus. RNA is found in the nucleus. See that picture right here? That's RNA. RNA is also found in the cytoplasm. There you go. Look at there. That's an RNA again. So I can say that RNA or ribonucleic acid is found within the nucleus. It is also found in the cytoplasm. Is that okay? Moving on, let us see how many different types of RNA do we have in our cell. Okay, now there are two basic types of RNA. One RNA is called as genetic RNA because for these individuals, RNA is the genetic material. Now, which kind of individuals would you think would have RNA as their genetic material? You guessed it right. It has to be a virus. Let us see some viruses here. You have here on the left is the human immunodeficiency virus, also called as HIV, right? Now, this has got genetic RNA. Similarly, certain plant viruses like tobacco mosaic virus or TMV will also show genetic RNA. Now you see the two arrows right here. These arrows are pointing to the genetic RNA in viruses. Is that okay? There is another type of RNA which is called as non-genetic RNA. Now why they are called non-genetic? You guessed it right, because their genetic material is DNA. Now there are three main types of non-genetic RNA. Namely, this one right here is called as messenger RNA or mRNA, where the M stands for messenger. There is one more type. Look at this picture here. This one is called as rRNA, which stands for ribosomal RNA, because it is associated with the ribosome. The third type of RNA which you see here in the diagram is tRNA, which is also called as transfer RNA. Is that okay? The details of these non-genetic RNAs we'll see in the future modules. Is that okay? Moving on. Now, if I look at RNA nucleotide, a typical RNA nucleotide will also have three components. Let us revise those three components just like we did for the DNA nucleotide. Starting with this first component here. What do you think this is? Look carefully at that OH group. And now you know this is ribose sugar because it has the OH instead of the H at the second position. Is that okay? Now you also know that to the ribose sugar is attached something called as nitrogen base at the first carbon. Okay? These are the four possible nitrogen bases for RNA. Either A, U, G or C at carbon 1 of the ribose sugar. Is that okay? Notice that U stands for uracil. Remember, RNA has uracil instead of thymine. Is that correct? Now look at that fifth carbon right there. Okay, before we go there, remember, combination of ribose sugar and nitrogen base is called as the nucleoside. Is that okay? So what is a nucleoside? A nucleoside refers to combination of pentose sugar and a purine or a pyrimidine base. Yes, you got it right. Now let's look at that fifth carbon right there. What do you think will be there? You guessed it right. At the fifth carbon, there will be a phosphate group. Is that okay? And when the phosphate group joins the nucleoside, you get a nucleotide. So what is a nucleotide? A nucleotide is a combination of nucleoside and a phosphate group. Is that okay? You got that correct. Now, remember, the nitrogen base is attached to the first carbon with the help of a glycosidic bond. And between the ribose sugar and the phosphate group, you will see what? Sugar phosphate bond. Is that okay? And this is how a typical RNA nucleotide looks like. Okay? This brings us to the end of the module where I introduced you to ribonucleic acid or RNA. In the next module, I'll talk about the general structure of RNA and how it should look like. Thank you and take care.